If you still think this war is only about nuclear weapons after watching this video, then we failed, because the real story is something much bigger than uranium. In March 2025, the US Director of National Intelligence testified under oath to Congress that America continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. 6 months later, the United States launched a war against Iran, justified by the nuclear threat. Something does not add up. 21 hours of peace talks in Islamabad. One call, no deal. A naval blockade announced the same day the negotiators landed back home. And as of today, mediators are working on a ceasefire extension and pushing for a second round of talks before April 22nd. We are going to tell you exactly what is really happening, with facts, with logic, no spin from either side. To understand today, you need to understand the pattern, because this is not the first time this has happened. 2015. Iran signs a nuclear deal with the world's major powers. Iran limits its uranium enrichment to 3.67% in return for sanctions relief. The IAEA verifies compliance repeatedly. 2018. Trump walks away from the deal, sanctions return overnight, Iran gets nothing it was promised. 2025. Iran comes back to the table again under Trump's second term. Multiple rounds of talks in Oman. Both sides say progress is being made. An Omani mediator says a breakthrough is within reach. While those talks were still active, the United States and Israel launched the war on February 28, 2026. This is the pattern Iran is responding to at every negotiating table. We signed a deal, we complied. You bombed us anyway. Twice. Iran's parliament speaker said the US side ultimately failed to gain the trust of the Iranian delegation. Tehran wanted assurance that the bombing would not restart once they made concessions. That is not stubbornness. That is what happens when trust has been broken twice in 8 years. Here are the exact numbers behind the collapse, because numbers matter more than press conference statements. Trump's team proposed a 20-year suspension of Iranian uranium enrichment. Iran countered with 5 years. The US rejected it. A 15-year gap. The US also wants Iran to physically dismantle its enrichment facilities and remove its entire stockpile of highly enriched uranium from the country. Iran offered supervised downblending on its own soil under IAEA oversight instead. The US said no. An Iranian official told state media afterwards that the United States was seeking to achieve through negotiations what it failed to achieve during the 40-day war. Iran's foreign minister said the two sides came within inches of an understanding, but encountered maximalism, shifting goalposts, and blockade. A regional source directly involved in the mediation described it plainly. Both sides are bargaining. It is a bazaar, and here is the detail nobody highlights. Trump himself posted that most points were agreed to. The only point that really mattered, nuclear, was not. The United States President confirmed progress. His Vice President walked out and blamed Iran. These two things happened within hours of each other. That is not diplomacy breaking down. That is a deliberate pressure tactic. And Iran read it exactly that way. Now, here are 3 verified facts. Mainstream media reports each one separately. Nobody connects them together. Fact 1. America's own intelligence community assessed under oath that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. Fact 2. The United States launched a war against Iran anyway, partly justified by the nuclear threat. Fact 3. During Israel's 12-day war on Iran last year, the United States carried out airstrikes on Iran's three main nuclear sites. Trump claimed Iran's nuclear program had been obliterated, but 8 months later he started a new war, again citing the nuclear threat as justification. If the nuclear program was obliterated, why is it still the main reason the war continues? Connect those three facts and a question forms that no press conference answers. Was this conflict primarily about nuclear weapons? Or is the nuclear framing the most politically acceptable justification for strategic goals that run much deeper? We are not answering that for you. We are asking you to ask it. Here is where things stand right now, as of today. Iran's foreign ministry has stated that Iran is open to discussing the type and level of its uranium enrichment. But the country must, based on its needs, be able to continue enrichment. America's position remains zero enrichment on Iranian soil, permanently. Those two lines have not moved. A deal is still possible, according to every mediator involved. Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, all still at the table. A regional source said the door is not closed. But here is the structural truth that makes this conflict so hard to end. Iran needs a security guarantee that cannot be cancelled by the next US president. America cannot offer that, as 2018 proved. America needs physical proof Iran will not weaponize. Iran will not accept full dismantlement, as every negotiation since 2015 has proven. Until one of those two things changes, we will keep watching talks collapse, ceasefires expire, and the same headlines repeat on a loop. The ceasefire expires April 22nd. A second round of talks is expected this week in Islamabad. Watch what happens, not what politicians say about what is going to happen. Here we are. We do not tell you what to think. We give you what they leave out and let you decide. Share this if it gave you clarity, and follow us for the next update.